On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Minimal.
Tiny in amount, the least possible.
Examples:
Minimal effort. Minimal amount. The process was carried out at minimal cost.
Impressive.
Arousing admiration due to size, quality, or skill.
Examples:
Impressive performances. An impressive array of facts. The budget reduction was an impressive feat for our nation.
Environment.
The natural world such as air, water, and land in which humans, animals, and plants live.
Examples:
Environment affairs. Chaotic environment. Every human is responsible for taking care of the Earth's environment.
Precision.
The quality or condition of being exact and accurate.
Examples:
A precision instrument. Speak with precision. This operation requires both patience and precision.
Valve.
A device for controlling the flow of a fluid or gas through a pipe or duct by means of a movable part that opens, closes, or restricts the opening.
Examples:
Electromagnetic valve. Valve control. The valve on the pipeline was leaking, so maintenance had to shut it off to make repairs.
Recover.
To return to a former condition, health, mind, or strength.
Examples:
Recover a loss. Recover approval ratings. She is still recovering from a shot to her shoulder.
Emphasize.
To give or show particular importance to something.
Examples:
Emphasize her words. Emphasize a direct relationship. Use italics or capitals to emphasize a word in a piece of writing.
Translate.
To convert or change words into another language.
Examples:
Translate a document into English. Translate the emotion to a movement. Translate the text from Italian into English.
Specific.
Clearly defined or particular to a certain thing or situation, distinct, explicit, and precise.
Examples:
Specific instructions. Industry-specific regulations. The scientist conducted a study that provided specific details about the species' behavior.
Architecture.
The art and science of designing and constructing buildings.
Examples:
Architecture design. Classic architecture. The city is known for its impressive architecture and beautiful old buildings.
Well-defined.
Having clear and precise boundaries or characteristics, distinctly outlined or delimited, easily understood or recognizable.
Examples:
well-defined terms, well-defined objectives. The well-defined set of instructions made it easy to assemble the furniture.
Rigid.
Extremely strict and difficult to change or adapt, incapable of or resistant to bending.
Examples:
rigid rules, rigid structure. He was unpopular because of his rigid adherence to the rules.
Motor.
A device that converts electricity, fuel, etc. into movement and makes a machine, vehicle, etc. work.
Examples:
a motor mechanic, DC motor control. Energy-efficient motors are needed to maximize the cruising distance of electric vehicles.
Actuate.
To cause a machine or equipment to start to work.
Examples:
actuate the circuits, actuate a parking brake. A desire for success actuated her.
Joint.
Shared, held, or made between two or more people. Noun, the point of connection between two bones or elements of a skeleton.
Examples:
a joint venture, the bone of a joint. After the summit meeting, the prime ministers issued a joint statement.
Robotic.
Of or relating to mechanical robots, robotics, the interdisciplinary branch of computer science and engineering, with the practical use of robots.
Examples:
robotic arm, robotic guide operation. The surgeon removed the tumor using robotic video assistance.
Structure.
The way of construction of something and the arrangement of its parts, or a complex thing constructed of many parts.
Examples:
the structure of a machine, structure and function of the brain. The organizational structure of startups is often flat and straightforward.
Movement.
A group of people working together to achieve a shared goal, especially a political, social, or artistic one, the process of moving or being moved, physically or figuratively.
Examples:
a circular movement, movement of troops. The movement of the dancers on stage was graceful and elegant.
Damage.
To harm or cause injury to something or someone, often resulting in decreased value or functionality. To impair or negatively affect something, such as a reputation or relationship. Noun, harm or injury that is caused to a person, thing, or entity.
Examples:
damage a relationship, damage assessment. During the surgery, the doctor had to be extremely cautious not to damage a blood vessel.
Dam.
A wall constructed over a river to block the flow of water, mainly used to generate energy.
Examples:
Dam building program. Dam collapsing. The break in the dam threatened the valley.
Brain.
The organ inside the head that is responsible for one's movement, thought, memory, and feeling.
Examples:
Basic brain function. Permanent brain damage. X-rays revealed a small tumor in his brain.
Obvious.
Easy to see, discover, or understand.
Examples:
Obvious reasons. His conclusion was obvious. There are obvious differences between the two wine-producing regions.
Precise.
Sharply exact or accurate or delimited.
Examples:
Precise analyses. Estimate precise costs. The content is precise and informative for me.
Ridiculous.
Very silly or unreasonable and deserving to be laughed at.
Examples:
A ridiculous amount of money. A ridiculous suggestion. Everyone regarded the theory he advocated as ridiculous, but was later proven correct.
Ineffective.
Not producing any significant or intended effect or result.
Examples:
An ineffective speech. Pull an ineffective player. These treatments were ineffective against a virus.
Deform.
To change or distort the shape or appearance of something, to become misshapen or distorted.
Examples:
Deform the shape. Deform his way of life. The heat from the fire deformed the plastic parts of the appliance.
Adjust.
To make a minor modification to something to make it more suited for a new set of conditions, or to make it function better.
Examples:
Adjust a schedule. Adjust the rearview mirror. You have to adjust your contents to the age of the audience.
Interaction.
The act of connecting with someone, mainly when working, playing, or spending time with them.
Examples:
The interaction between man and his environment. Interaction among human beings. The interaction of the two groups is good for brainstorming.
Opposition.
The act of disagreeing or resisting, the state of strong disagreement.
Examples:
Opposition campaign. Meet with opposition. The opposition party strongly disagreed with the government's proposed legislation.
Pound.
The standard unit of money in the UK, the standard unit of weight equal to 16 ounces.
Examples:
3/4 of a pound. Thousands of pounds. The car's front bumper cost £1,500.
Hydrostatics.
A branch of physics that deals with the mechanical properties and behavior of fluids at rest, particularly with the principles of pressure, buoyancy, and equilibrium in fluids.
Examples:
Hydrostatics principles. Hydrostatics equation. The principles of hydrostatics are essential in the design of submarines.
Interact.
To communicate or react with somebody.
Examples:
Interact directly with customers. Interact with one another. He should interact more with his colleagues.
Stiff.
Not easily bent, flexible, or pliable, difficult to move or be maneuvered, difficult to relax, having a heavy or formal manner.
Examples:
Stiff muscles. Stiff penalty. Her body felt stiff after sitting at her desk for hours without moving.
Coconut.
The large, hard-shelled seed of a tropical palm, which has a fibrous husk surrounding a single-seeded nut.
Examples:
Coconut milk. Coconut oil. He cracked open a coconut to drink the milk.
Shell.
Hard outer covering or case of eggs, nuts, some seeds, and some animals.
Examples:
An egg shell. A mollusk shell. The outermost electron shell determines the chemical properties of an atom.
Flexibility.
The quality of changing or being changed easily according to new conditions or situations.
Examples:
Mental flexibility. The flexibility of the body. We dealt with those problems with speed and flexibility.
Tentacle.
A flexible, mobile, and long arm-like organ used for feeling and holding things, catching food, or moving.
Examples:
A squid's tentacle. Posterior tentacle. The police caught the fugitive criminal in the tentacles of an expanded investigation.
Apparently.
Based on what you have heard or read.
Examples:
Apparently simple. Apparently unrelated. The police apparently believed this explanation was plausible.
Octopus.
A sea creature with a soft round body and 8 long tentacles, equals long parts like arms.
Examples:
Giant octopus. Venomous octopus. He experienced nausea after eating live octopus.
Jar.
A cylindrical container, typically made of glass, metal, or pottery, with a wide mouth and a screwed or sealed lid, used for storing food, liquids, and other materials.
Examples:
A jar of jam. A water jar. He placed the coins in a jar to save for a trip.
Embody.
To represent or exemplify something. To give tangible form to an abstract idea.
Examples.
Embody my goal. Embody a spirit of charity. The company's new products embody the values of innovation and sustainability.
Intelligence.
The ability to learn, comprehend, or make judgments or conclusions based on reasons.
Examples.
An intelligence test. Field of artificial intelligence. In terms of intelligence, he was head and shoulders above his classmates.
Fundamental. Forming
an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples.
Fundamental education. Fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Conform.
To comply with standards, rules, or expectations set by others, to agree with or match something.
Examples.
Conform to the ISO standard. Conform with popular opinion. The company's new policy requires all employees to conform to the dress code.
Calculation.
The act or process of using numbers to judge an amount of something.
Examples.
Make a calculation. Calculation of loss and gain. The error in the calculation was attributable to rounding.
Release.
To set free or allow to escape from confinement.
Examples.
Release a prisoner. Release CO2 into the air. The animal rights group worked to release the dolphins back into the wild.
Rely.
To require a certain thing or the assistance and support of someone or something in order to continue, run properly, or succeed.
Examples.
Rely on convenience stores. Rely entirely on him. Babies heavily rely on others for food.
Excessive.
Greater than what seems necessary, normal, or desirable.
Examples.
An excessive force. Take excessive care. It would be best if you did not demand such an excessive charge.
Computation.
The act or process of calculating something, especially an answer or amount, by using a machine or calculator.
Examples.
Parallel computation. Theory of computation. The researcher demonstrated the superiority of quantum computation in several mathematical tasks.
Strategy.
A detailed plan of action designed to achieve a long-term or overall goal.
Examples.
Military strategy. Develop a strategy. Our plan includes a comprehensive marketing strategy.
Evolution.
A gradual process of transformation of living things.
Examples:
Human evolution. Evolution theory. They study the evolution of the universe.
Frequent.
Happening constantly.
Examples:
Frequent absence. Frequent use. His heartaches are less frequent now.
Sparing.
Characterized by using or giving very little of something, frugal or economical in the use of resources or materials.
Examples:
A sparing amount of sugar. Time sparing. The sparing use of resources is important for conservation efforts.
Unexpected.
Not anticipated or regarded as likely to happen.
Examples:
An unexpected visitor. Some unexpected events. The unexpected rainstorm caused the collapse of the corral.
Compliant.
Willing to comply with rules, requests, or demands.
Examples:
Compliant software. Compliant regulations. The company is committed to being compliant with industry regulations.
Undergo.
To go through something unpleasant or that involves a change.
Examples:
Undergo surgery. Undergo a decrease. The train has to undergo rigorous safety checks.
Deformation.
The process of changing the physical shape or form of something, usually due to external forces or pressure.
Examples:
Deformation at room temperature. Deformation of structures. Various factors, including pressure, temperature, and the application of external forces, can cause the deformation of rocks.
Distribute.
To give something to a large number of individuals, or to spread or furnish something.
Examples:
Distribute wealth evenly. Distribute video content. His estate was distributed to his sons.
Continuously.
Without being interrupted or paused, repeatedly.
Examples:
Use one thing continuously. Continuously removed. The country's domestic coal consumption has been continuously declining for decades.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Gear.
A toothed wheel that engages another toothed mechanism to change the speed or direction of transmitted motion, a set of tools, equipment, or other items for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Sports gear. A gear change lever. She checked her gear before embarking on the hike.
Screw.
To turn something, such as a bolt, with a driver or wrench to tighten or loosen it. Noun, a cylindrical rod with a helical ridge used to fasten things together.
Examples:
Screw the cap. A female screw. He had to screw the loose knob back onto the cabinet door.
Combine.
To join or merge to form a single thing or group.
Examples:
Combine chemically with another substance. Combine augmented reality. Hydrogen and oxygen combine to form water.
Define.
To state or explain precisely the nature, scope, or meaning of something.
Examples:
Define a word. Define my position. To advance this discussion, we must define success rigorously.
Scratch.
To cut or damage the surface of something or the skin with a sharp or pointed object.
Examples:
Scratch off a name. Scratch my signature. Don't scratch your mosquito bites.
Flexible.
Able to change or be changed to suit new conditions or situations, able to bend easily.
Examples:
Flexible schedules. A flexible wire. You can be more flexible and creative in your approach.
Complexity.
The state or quality of being complicated or intricate and difficult to understand.
Examples:
Cognitive complexity. Complexity theory. The project's complexity made it difficult for the team to complete it on time.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Sneak.
To go somewhere, or take someone or something somewhere secretly or stealthily. To steal or do something secretly or stealthily.
Examples:
Sneak a cigarette. Sneak out of danger. The children tried to sneak out and eat the candy.
Afterward.
After the time mentioned.
Examples:
A few years afterward. Go there afterward. We will explain the countermeasure concerning this problem afterward.
Preliminary.
Serving as a preparation for something more important or extensive, introductory, taking place before the main event or decision.
Examples:
preliminary investigation, preliminary agreement. Before starting the project, we need to go through some preliminary research and planning.
Prototype.
A first or preliminary example of something such as a device or vehicle from which other forms are developed.
Examples:
complete a prototype product, early prototype. The flying car is presently in the prototype stage.
Robust.
Sturdy and healthy in form, constitution, or construction, strong enough to withstand or overcome intellectual challenges or adversity.
Examples:
robust growth, a robust appetite. The experiment yielded robust results that support his theory.
Submarine.
A type of underwater vehicle or vessel that can operate beneath the surface of the water. Adjective, beneath the surface of the sea.
Examples:
a submarine volcano, submarine cable. The military submarine disappeared without a trace.
Coral.
A rock-like substance created in the sea by groupings of specific types of small animals, commonly used in jewelry.
Examples:
coral island, coral ornament. She is wearing a coral necklace.
Reef.
A long chain or range of rocks or sand near the ocean's surface.
Examples:
barrier reef, coral reefs. The vessel ran aground on a reef.
Colleague.
One of a group of a coworker, especially in a profession or a business.
Examples:
collaborate with colleagues, former colleague. I decided to seek counseling on the advice of my colleague.
Tip.
The top or extreme point of something slender or tapering, usually a mountain or hill. A piece of advice about something practical, a small amount of money given for services.
Examples:
the tip of a paintbrush. Give the waiter a tip. I will introduce some tips on learning English in this class.
Firm.
Resolute or unwavering in decision-making or action, strong or secure in structure, make or composition, reliable, trustworthy, or dependable. Noun, a business or company.
Examples:
firm grip, accounting firm. The firm deadline for submitting the project is tomorrow, so we need to work efficiently to finish on time.
Inspire.
To make somebody feel with the desire, confidence, or enthusiasm, especially to do something creative.
Examples:
inspire a feeling of curiosity. Inspire him to write a novel. The unique style of this martial arts inspired many action film producers.
Biomedical.
Relating to the application of the natural sciences, especially biology and physiology, to clinical medicine and healthcare.
Examples:
biomedical assay. Cutting-edge biomedical. Biomedical engineering focuses on developing new medical technologies and innovations to improve patient health outcomes.
Engineer.
A person whose job is designing, building, or maintaining something such as machines, structures, or software.
Examples:
a civil engineer. Engineer shortage. The engineer will repair my telephone tomorrow morning.
Medical.
Relating to the treatment of illness or injuries, relating to the practice of medicine.
Examples:
a medical opinion. Temporary medical treatment. The medical team worked quickly to save the patient's life.
Invasive.
Spreading very quickly, and often aggressively, and difficult to stop.
Examples:
invasive breast cancer. Invasive species. The invasive disease can spread quickly and potentially cause a global pandemic.
Procedure.
A way of doing something, especially the official or well-known way.
Examples:
undergo a surgical procedure. Standard procedure. The pilot and flight attendant ran through the checkout procedure.
Surgeon.
A doctor who is trained to perform medical operations that involve cutting open a person's body.
Examples:
an excellent brain surgeon. Army surgeon. He is a skilled surgeon that has many years of training and experience.
Straight.
Extending or moving in one direction without bending or curving, having no deviations.
Examples:
a straight line. Straight for 2 months. He was sick for 5 straight days.
Instrument.
An object used to make musical sounds, such as a piano, guitar, or drum, a tool or device used for a specific activity, particularly in specialist or scientific work.
Examples:
musical instruments. Surgical instruments. This electronic instrument is required to undergo periodic inspections to ensure precision.
Uncertain.
Not being sure of something, not being able to choose.
Examples:
numerous uncertain factors. Take an uncertain attitude. She was uncertain about her friend's intentions.
Surgery.
Medical treatment of injuries or diseases involving an incision with instruments and often removing or replacing some parts of the body, the branch of medical science that treats disease or injury by operative procedures.
Examples:
cardiac surgery, the professor of surgery. He had undergone heart surgery years before.
Stick.
To put something, usually a sharp object, into something, noun, a thin piece of wood or other material.
Examples:
stick a key in a lock, fire stick. You stick a bill in the change machine, and the coins pop out.
Classic.
Judged or deserving to be regarded as one of the best or most important of its kind over a period of time, of a well-known type.
Examples:
a classic experiment, Chinese classic literature. He displayed the classic symptoms of depression.
Endoscope.
A medical instrument that consists of a long, flexible tube with a light and a camera on end, used to examine the interior of a body cavity or organ visually.
Examples:
medical endoscope, flexible endoscope. The doctor used a diagnostic endoscope to examine the patient's stomach during the medical procedure.
Module.
A self-contained unit or component of a larger system or structure, a standardized unit of computer hardware or software designed to perform a specific function.
Examples:
module software, audio module. I must install a new programming module for my computer program to function properly.
Elongate.
To extend something in length, to lengthen, stretch out, or to make longer.
Examples:
elongate muscles, elongate a dress. The yoga instructor told us to elongate our spines during the practice.
Simulate.
To make a pretense of someone's behavior or looks, to reproduce something that exists in real life using computers, models, etc., usually for study or training purposes.
Examples:
simulate climate change, simulate a future scenario. He had painted the wood to simulate stone.
Needle.
A thin, pointed object typically used for sewing or medical purposes, a metal or plastic instrument used for administering injections or drawing blood.
Examples:
needle prick, sewing needle. The acupuncturist inserted needles into specific points on my body to alleviate my pain.
Mechanical.
Operated by a machine, relating to or concerned with machinery or tools.
Examples:
a mechanical style of writing, the influence of mechanical action. A mechanical engineer is still in demand in many companies.
Tissue.
An ensemble of similar cells of the animal or plant that together carry out a specific function.
Examples:
A facial tissue. Loss of muscle tissue. The researcher separated the nervous tissue for microscopic examinations.
Steer.
To control the direction or movement of a vehicle, to direct a course of action, to guide or motivate someone.
Examples:
Steer a steady course. Steer a conversation. The captain told him to steer the ship north.
Solid.
Hard or firm, characterized by good substantial quality.
Examples:
Solid ally. Solid employment measures. The solid state of water is called ice.
Tumor.
A mass of diseased tissue that forms when cells in the body divide and grow in an uncontrolled way.
Examples:
Tumor growth. Tumor at remote sites. The patient was diagnosed with a tumor in her lung.
Insert.
To put something inside something else.
Examples:
Insert coin. Insert a graphic. She inserted a new chapter into her manuscript.
Exciting.
Causing a lot of interest or excitement.
Examples:
Exciting football player. Exciting news. The findings of the experiment were both exciting and unexpected.
Pose.
To present a risk, problem, or other issues that must be addressed.
Examples:
Pose a significant threat to my company. Pose a challenge. The chemicals pose a massive health risk.
Communal.
Belonging to or used by a group rather than individuals, for common use.
Examples:
Communal swimming pool. Communal combination of funds. Communal elections were held in several European countries.